Welcome back, dear ladies and gents, friends and family of Hahnemühle. We're back with another live session from Dussel within Lower Saxony, Germany, just a stone's throw away from Hahnemühle itself. We're going to have for you another digital fine art session right now. This is the second one of today within this virtual open house for you, digitally, virtually, completely COVID conform. So 30 to 40 minutes are going to be packed full of information about Hahnemühle's digital art, fine art papers, and all papers that are for everyday photo media usage. You can find out about further paper grades, discover about all the options you have from the Digital Fine Art collection, and learn about how the collection differs from just everyday photo ranges. On top of this, we will launch here right now today with you live another new paper within the Digital Fine Art collection. So very exciting, stay tuned. This is going to be packed of informations and it's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Danny Mikalski. I'm going to host you through this session and I here would like to officially welcome you to this session, the Digital Fine Art collection with a new launch coming up just in a couple of minutes. I am not here by myself, as you've seen. I've got Eveline, beautiful Eveline next to me, and wonderful Alexander next to me. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hi, I'm Eveline. I'm responsible for the marketing and communication part of the Digital Fine Art papers and everyday photo papers. I'm excited to be here today because we have a shiny little surprise for you. And I'm sure Alexander can reveal a lot of secrets about the papers you may not know.
Secrets, Alexander? Is it secrets that we're going to get?
It is indeed a lot of secrets, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. I'm the product manager and the business development manager for the Digital Fine Art range of papers within Hahnemühle. Indeed, this is going to be a super interesting session for all printers, print enthusiasts, photographers, professionals, gallerists, everybody out there that wants to have a super high-end image printed on the most delicate paper that there is. Make sure to stay tuned, really stay tuned. Like Danny already mentioned, we'll officially launch a new product, a sophisticated silvery-shimmering photo highlight. So stay with us for the next minutes and you will be delighted.
Both of them have been teasing you right now. I know what it's going to be, but stay tuned. It's going to be super exciting. So I have to congratulate Hahnemühle and you guys because you've been in the business for over 25 years now, leading and directing and being really the guidance for many others. And that's very impressive. It's the 25th Jubilee looking at fine art, digital fine art. So next to the premium raw materials and handmade production, what makes the Hahnemühle papers the best in the market? That's what I'm interested in to know.
There are a lot of factors, I would say, why we are the best. I think one particular reason is that when our customers buy Hahnemühle products, they can expect the same quality every time, consistency over and over again. And by high quality, we mean really the purest fibers in the purest spring water, a lot of knowledge and hard work that goes into the paper, which then as a consequence leads into a high longevity. So our papers can last for generations, probably longer than we will live on Earth. Yes. And on top of that, we're constantly refining, developing, testing our papers, especially when it comes to our digital fine art papers, the coating. And on top of that, we never really stopped with the digital fine art papers. We then went a step further and developed the everyday photo papers. We have a special assortment of papers just created for HP Indigo presses, for example, or we even launched a couple weeks back the world's first hemp paper made for book printing, actually.
Wow.
So we really stand out with our innovative power and quality.
Now, you've heard it, the best of the best. There you can see some of the examples. Alexander will also talk about this, just coming right up. So, Eveline, you mentioned that there are many different textures, there's different surfaces in the Digital FineArt collection of Hahnemühle that you can choose from. Alexander, we just seen a little overview, and you're going to comment that as well. Help us a little understand about this whole variety.
Yeah, absolutely. The question is, why did we come about to make these papers? And as mentioned before, the development of the Digital FineArt collection is due to the fact that one discovered that painters and artists wanted to safeguard and reproduce their one-of-a-kind art. So it all began as a result of being able to scan art and then to reproduce and print art. The same way the art is painted, so the painting papers were upgraded so they can actually be used to scan and print. And today we use this both ways. We use it in a traditional fine art as painting for different colors, and we use it here for reproducing art, but also for photo. So this is all thanks to the special manufactured wool felts. This makes the paper so special. The wool felts will give it the texture, and Hahnemühle's matte fine art inkjet papers can actually divide it into two groups. And if we can shoot onto the collection, and we have the whole collection of papers here to my right-hand side, it all started with the Photorec 308. Photorec is the most classical, it's our best-selling product, and it all started around that very special surface Photorec material, which is a smooth fine art cotton-based paper.
Smooth.
It's smooth, and then all these paper types were then derived in and around that smooth and into more texture. So with different felts on the paper machine, we do create complete different look and feel for all these textured papers. So those are distinctly different, and they also give different photographs a complete different appearance in terms of three-dimensional, or what you would have to look at certain deep colors and things. So to give you an idea how wide the range really is, we have on the one side our lightest paper, which is rice paper. Eveline has a sample here for you.
Oh, wow,
you can almost look through it. It's so
fine.
light. It is only 100 GSM, as opposed to much heavier papers like the Photorec 308. The 308 we have on Eveline is...
Hang on, we're not catching up with you,
Okay,
Alex. Bear with us.
go
Okay.
ahead with
so
the
next
rice.
one will be which one?
This is the Photorec
Photorec
308.
308.
That's the 308 right here.
Yeah, and the 308
Okay.
is our classic, and it's 308 grams. So that's about the medium range of paper calipers that we offer. We go all the way up to over 600 grams, but the norm is about 300 grams for these heavy artist photo papers. The whole idea is to create unique, one-of-a-kind photo papers that make the art impress the viewer. So they do not contain optical enhancers, brightness. They come with subtle laid lines. You can sometimes see the felt even show through the surface texture. This is very, very special. And what it does, it gives it a soft feel. So you may wonder why I'm wearing these gloves. And the thing of the matter is these papers have a skin. So, and you don't want to scratch that skin too much to maintain the deep colors in these images. So that's the trick. So we really use the surface to make the image good. So the 308, as I said earlier, is one of the most popular worldwide inkjet papers for fine art printing. You find it in museums, in galleries. Top photographers will use it. And it's very good for not only color photographs, but as you can see here, also especially for high contrast monochromes. The monochrome is also something, when photography started 100 years back, everything was monochrome. So we'd also like to give a hint that photography started very humble, very, very simple, and you can create that effect with the paper. The thing is, the feeling is unique, special. It boasts a lightly defined surface, and again, the three-dimensionality. If you think about, you go around a matte paper, you will have different angles, and sometimes you would get reflections. But the mattes don't reflect. And that gives the image a very, very naturally looking appearance in different ambient light conditions. So as I said, we can produce even the Photorec up to 500 gram. So we have that in steps for different grammage. But also we have other very loved ones that go back to our artist papers. Give you some example. In the textured range, for instance, William Turner, it's almost like a sandpaper. It's very heavy duty textured. Is very interesting for certain deep looking nature photography. Or Albrecht Dürer, and these names you see it's very clearly that Albrecht Dürer and those artists and the times when they painted, we were already around. That's hundreds of years back. We were already supplying those papers to very famous artists, to include Pablo Picasso and others.
Really?
Absolutely, and they used it for even creating artwork that lasted for a very, very long time. So William Turner upgraded with the photo coating out of 100% cotton, traditional mold-made one. And really, if you can see it, it's stunning. Stunning images. You see the snowflakes. You can almost look through it. It's almost like you're in that situation. So you think you're there. It's not artificially glossy, but it captures the moment. And that's what these papers are all about. A characteristic field structure, ordinary, stunning fine art printing, and art reproduction with this unique artistic flair. Again, Albrecht Dürer is another kind, just a little bit different mold-made paper, as we vary sometimes the ingredients. Sometimes it's more cotton, sometimes it's more alpha cellulose. So this Albrecht Dürer comes with 50% cotton, linters fibers, we talked about it, and 50% alpha cellulose, also developed specifically for reproducing former art. So if you were to have a huge, unique piece of art and you want to give it to more than one person, you would actually bring it to a print service provider. They would scan it, and the scanning would 100% match the colors that are on the original art. And this is what this paper does provide. Again, no optical brightness, nothing that can deteriorate or even otherwise decompose. It has a classic, strikingly defined watercolor structure. It gives this special artistic touch to the image. And all these three grades I talked about, the Museum Turner, there's a museum etching as well in Photorec, they're also available, that's very interesting to notice, with handcrafted and hand-torn edges. In former times, people were shaking the mesh to create the paper. We kind of create that effect by hand-torn edges. We call it decal edges on all four sides. So even these printed ones can come with these edges. And think about you have an artistic work like that in a frame or without, that looks stunning in every environment, in any room with the right lighting. So this is what we do. A special position again in this range has, of course, the natural line. Natural line also is mud paper, but there the difference is those are sustainable, fast-growing crops, not cellulose, not so much cotton, but plants that are growing everywhere with much less water. So that is also part of our fine art. And if you like to know more about it, we just recorded another session just particularly talking about natural line papers. That is available on YouTube. So please feel free, and we will be more than happy to have you there and to share with you some of the backgrounds which go into that range of natural line one.
Thank you, Alexander. I mean, I'm always like mind blown about what you can do these days, but you know, it took the company 400 years to get there, really. So it's history in the making, and also today we still haven't launched that one product we've been teasing you about. Stay tuned; it's very, very exciting coming up. But so for me, if I now am inspired by Rana and Barbara, the watercolor books and pads, and I want to start painting, doing a bit of watercolor, and then I want to reproduce it and maybe give it to friends and family, if I'm at one stage that presentable in my art form, and I want a different finish, not matte, not smooth. Is there something else? What else do you have in petto for me, Alexander?
Yeah, when we came with the first papers, we realized, again, there's artists that want to have this photography look from the first photo papers. And photo papers, as you may also know, they're more glossy, they're more shiny, there's reflections. So we tried different things, and actually we came up with a range of coatings now, which give you exactly that. An artistic paper, a fine art paper, but with a look of an analog photo. And that's very special, and the way we have a whole range there. The thing is, how much gloss do you need? And there's different artistic expressions that you want to take. So we come up, over the years, we came up with a whole gamut of, if you wish, glossinesses. So it can start with a gloss range from a very subtle gloss, like a satin. You have it here, Eveline has it on the display. Is a light gloss, satin we call it. Then there is a mid-range gloss. It's a luster or pearl.
You can see the gloss right there in the sheen.
Yeah, there you can see it's not over much glossy, it's not so much shiny, but it's enough to represent the analog touch of a first analog photo.
Yeah, and then we have
And then we
this.
go further. There we have a paper, Fine Art Baryta. It's much more glossy. It comes more shiny.
Yeah. You can see the lights reflecting.
The lights reflecting heavily, but that can create effects like the watercolor. There's water, there's a turtle.
The depth of the water.
The depth of the water, the surface, you can see the waves.
Yeah.
And this is what the shininess and glossiness does. So you can create, depending on what you have as a motive, very super interesting effects. And Baryta, the thing of the Baryta is Baryta was always used for analog photography. Baryta makes the paper being able to be in water and don't dissolve. So it's a special pigment that we also use and makes the gloss and the surface look a little different and a little much more alike like an analog paper. And this is why we have so many Baryta, because they're upgraded by a little bit of a Baryta, even though the papers don't require this, but it gives the paper a certain pitch, which all the classical analog photographers like, into that what they remember when they had to put the papers into baths and go with Baryta paper. So we use this, and it really gives the paper an outstanding final look. Fine Art Baryta Satin is a natural white fine art, 100% alpha cellulose based, has then a smooth, subtle surface texture, and it comes with that premium, really satin gloss finish.
Wow, okay, super glossy.
Perfect also for intense colors, very, very deep blacks. That's what you realized. If you go close, you realize there's this super deep black. We have densities 300% and more. There's no lights being reflected. The black is so dense.
Wow.
And
so
that
it's that dense that it doesn't reflect lights. Wow, that's a live experience, because we do have so many lights shining at us. You saw it with all the other prints. They did reflect, and here you have hardly any reflect. Wow, amazing, yeah?
Yeah, and it makes these images and pictures speak. No? It captures emotions and it transports emotions, because that's possibly like it was and like the photographer wanted it to speak to you. And it gives an outstanding sharpness. That's the other thing. I mean, our eye has limited sharpness. We always more sharp than our eye can resolve in terms of sharpness. So this sharpness is better than sometimes what you find outside. So you see no difference. On a screen, you may see a difference between real and screen. Here you don't. We go to the limit what's possible in terms of resolution. And only these papers with their special coating are able to do it. Yeah, Baryta, we talked about paper with a clearly visible, exquisite felt structure and a high gloss premium coating. Really, these papers and the whole range is setting new standards for photo papers, with their printing on both blacks and whites, and also the color gamut that you can reach, colors that you otherwise are even impossible to see. If you go to Florida, for instance, sometimes for the first time you see colors that your eye never realized they're existing.
Yeah.
And this is what these papers can bring upon, because they're able to go that way. So this is really what we accomplished in the coatings and in the glossiness. And the barium sulfate, again, sets them apart from other glossy papers that don't have that ingredient. And we talked about the photo gloss Baryta. There's another one. that have very, very highly intense white. You may go to the FB for me one time, Eveline. So some people like to have a super white background, super extra white.
Crisp.
So we have this brighter FB. This is a whiteness that gives the image a contrast that's otherwise impossible to do. So sometimes, this is a Chicago, you want to use that effect because there's so intense whites in the background that you want to highlight.
It's
and
very
the paper
crisp.
does this.
Yeah, the contrasts get much more intensive, and you have a crisp white, very brightly lit. It's kind of like a backlit kind of situation.
Correct.
Amazing, and you have that all on inkjet paper, and therefore also with these high-end papers, with these luxurious finishes, you get these super, super cool results.
Yeah, and that's not the end of it. Now we come to a very, very unique one in the glossy range, and that one is called Photorec Metallic. Metallic stands for 100% cotton-based paper that's based out of our Photorec surface structure, and this Photorec Metallic is then even upgraded with a glimmer pigment.
Wow.
So it has this pearlescent gloss, this shimmering gloss, where you can actually see metallic surfaces, jewelry, waves, reflections, even shine more intense than on a high-end glossy one like the Parida FB.
Wow.
So this is Photorec Metallic, one of our very, very nicely positioned and very much liked high-end glossy papers.
And I'm not sure if you can see the difference on the screen, but I'll just show this is not metallic and this is metallic. This is glossy and there's the metallic extra. You can maybe see that. I don't know if you can catch the difference when you go up close. We're here in that camera. So that's the metallic and that's glossy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see maybe the difference, metallic and glossy. So that's
already
pearly.
sense it a little bit in the color of the white, because this one, due to the metallic effect, it's a little bit grayisher than the other one.
A little bit of a, warmer, and this is kind of more white.
I think it's difficult to catch on camera.
You can, say that the sophisticated silver metallic effect, it's a
sophisticated.
lightly silvery effect,
Slight.
will do the following. It will do enhance motifs like metallic elements, like reflections, like ice, glass, architectures, waves, certain black and white situations, even enhance the image impression on the viewer. And this is what we like to do with this metallic cotton-based paper. And we're proud that it finally was able to launch, because it's very complicated to get it to work.
The process.
Sometimes, it can take up to 10 years to get the combination of paper and surface coating really to be consistent working.
Okay. So this is all, it's a different variety of paper for printing, glossy, matte, smooth, and even metallic. But, Alexander, there is still like something else. Paper is fascinating, and there's so many varieties. We've just got to know a little branch of everything that you really do. A change of texture, a change of finish, a little, it changes the whole image. It gives you a whole different impression. It comes alive in a different way. It's a different art piece at the end of the day. Are there more digital fine art collection pieces next to the matte, glossy, and the natural line papers? And what are they?
Yeah, this indeed is a good question, and we have finally found out that there's more to surface than just paper. And we began upgrading canvases. Canvases is something that all painters and many painters has used. So it's another nod to our heritage, working so closely with artists. And we have a range of canvases, digital fine art canvases in the lower left corner here of the collection. And we also have a chance to give you an idea. These are different grammage and different weave, and also different materials that are used for these canvas materials. So there's artists that like to have papers, not papers, but really woven structures, like a canvas, where to print or even where to
see that close up very well.
where to expose their photos. And we have polycotton blends, which is a mixture out of polyfibers and cottons. And then we do have full 100% cotton versions. We have in total we have 6 canvases, with
Wow.
all of them having a unique texture. Cézanne, for instance, is our heaviest, and it's based on cotton, while pure cotton.
Pure
Yep.
cotton. Okay. And
If you-
it's quite matte, it's grainy, it has that canvas feel, and you can even see the structure when you go close up, just as we see here in the close-up. Amazing, and that's called the Cézanne canvas.
This is Cézanne canvas, and as every artist want to have their own expression, I said, with the surface, there is on the other end of the selection of canvases, there's Goya canvas. And the thing about Goya canvas is it comes with a satin light gloss finish. So it will put the same photo, if you want, in a different light, and it may also alter the expression. So it's up to the artist to pick and choose out of our wide selection the one that he thinks
There it is.
is the best supporting for his.
Look at that.
Look at that, yes.
Wow. I mean, that really looks like I mean, I like to do some canvas painting on canvas sometimes, but wow, I've never seen that, to be honest. Because a canvas, usually you think it must be much bigger, thicker, grainier, and it's a combination of paper and canvas kind of a thing.
Right, right. You can pick and choose the thickness of the fibers used. You can pick and choose
And these are
the
made
weave.
out of which?
They're, most of them are made out of cotton.
Cotton.
Fibers. But the way the weave is done, there's 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 weave. So even with your clothing, you see different structures come from different
Wow.
weave. And that's what's done here, and also upgraded by the high-end premium coating comes about to make these images really shine like the original art that may have been an oil-based art, and now it's a reproduced art on canvas, for instance.
And the coating, what is the coating also like? Because you're so sustainable, you're eco-friendly. Is that, can I say also that it's
It is.
vegan?
It is.
Really,
It's
I'm
also
hardly
Yes.
like there
Right.
saying it because I'm like,
is,
it can't
yeah.
be. I mean, wow, you
No,
know.
it is, yeah.
Wow.
It has to be because of production, the regulations that we have due to the production side in the natural reserve area. Everything
Amazing.
has to be
I didn't
vegan.
dare ask. I'm like, it can't be also vegan, but
It
it is, of
is.
course, because it's Hahnemühle.
Absolutely, and it's nothing harmful. It's a mineral. It's almost like sand, but it's a porous sand. So the porous sand will make sure that the droplet from the inkjet printer finds its home and stays where it's supposed to stay. So it's nothing more than
Voila.
that, but the trick is how to get these combined.
And
This
that's,
takes you
that's the art of
That's
it.
the art of doing it, yes.
Fantastic. Wow. I mean, I'm mind blown this time again. So those are the canvases and 2 different kinds. You have a few different ones. I think it's about time that we're gonna do something groundbreaking
Breaking here.
yet again
Yes.
live for you, the viewers, as Hahnemühle has taken the responsibility to say, hey, we're gonna be your creative days. This is why virtual open house is taking place. We are now launching a completely new product.
Yes.
Completely innovative, and we've all been like waiting for it. This is the moment. Now is the moment to launch your new product. Go ahead.
Yeah, we go ahead.
You're ready,
Eveline,
Are you
go
ready?
ahead.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yes, we are. The new product is highly inspired by the Photorec Metallic and its great success that we had. And what we did, we combined the metallic
look at
effect
that.
with the canvas. For the
hoopla.
first time here, we really reached that we can say that it's a fine art media now, which has both. It has the canvas background, it has the canvas structure and feel, and it comes with an upgrade of a metallic surface effect, which again comes with a bright white. And the thing is that certain elements, especially here, you see some metallic elements, you see some waves, you see some things
come
that
alive.
they come alive, they pop, they really come to be as realistic or even
that light shine.
as possible and shiny as they possibly could be. And it always is about a certain image effect. Now, what effect can an image have? And this particular image and others like these, they get their full effect if they're actually printed on metallic canvas. and it really guarantees that these bold colors and nuance contrasts and detail come out the way they have to come out.
And what I find really interesting, because this is the first time I've seen this, obviously you as well, because this is being launched for you live today here in Dussel, Lower Saxony, out of the N-Style Studios. I'm kind of being stuck. The glove that I'm wearing is, you can hear it. Like, I'm gonna go, can you hear that? That's the canvas surface in the back of the painting. Can we show the behind?
Yes,
Because you can see the canvas structure really well if you turn it around.
It's like an oil painting on
Yeah,
the
it's
back.
like an oil painting. It's a canvas. I'm not sure if you can see the structure, but if you zoom in a little bit, it's the structure is a canvas. Voila. And I was just like, because in the back, I kept getting stuck with my gloves.
Yeah, it almost looks a little bit like a carpet. You can think if you go to Louvre or sometimes you go closely to these paintings, that's what it looks on the back side.
But we
Thank
prefer
you.
the front.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
But on the
absolutely.
front side, the full effect of metallic, the surface finish, the white, the brilliant, that the colors, the depths, the nuances, everything shows. And that's what we finally, after trying for a long time, what we accomplished.
Wow, what an amazing portfolio you have already. Now you've launched the canvas metallic on top of that, live here with you, dear viewers, dear friends and family of Hahnemühle, dear customers, resellers, artists. What amazing news. And I'm like, wow, I mean, this is groundbreaking happening live for you right here. And it also is vegan. I was like, can I ask that question again? It cannot be vegan. Yes, it is. Sustainable. It's eco-friendly. And it's also vegan. Wow, wow, wow. So I'm just going to check with my colleagues. Do we have our video call ready and set up to go? Because then I would say we're going to call Heidemarie Hinger. She's live with us. And we're going to say, hi, Heidemarie. Come and speak with us. It's good to have you here.
Hello, I'm Heidemarie, and I'm really happy to be here today. I followed some of the sessions, and now it's my turn to talk about the Hahnemühle Photo portfolio. Hahnemühle Photo is a basic assortment of inkjet papers that are ideal for the daily printing. The papers are easy to use, have a very good quality, and have an attractive price point. The different surface finishes like matte, gloss, luster, or pearl make it an excellent choice for standard photos, for photo books, or for photo prints. The papers are cellulose-based natural papers or resin-coated substrate materials, and combined with an optimized inkjet coating for photo application, it is ensured that you get the best print results for everyday printing. Hahnemühle Photo is a really good alternative to the Digital FineArt collection. In comparison to the Digital FineArt collection, the Hahnemühle Photo media have a non-textured cellulose paper base or a polythene-coated substrate material, and have an inkjet coating optimized for photographic applications. The comparative thinness and smooth surface of these papers make sure it can be easily printed and handled. With superior print quality and a resistance of aging up to 30 years, the papers in the Hahnemühle Photo range deliver the best results in day-to-day work and are perfect for photographic applications like mentioned before, standard photos, photo cards, photo books, or poster prints. At this point, most probably the question of who uses this paper will arise. These papers are used and preferred by beginners, by photo students, hobby photographers, or people who just like to have a nice quality paper. Actually, it's ideal for everyone who does not necessarily need museum's quality at home. The Hahnemühle Photo range is the choice of everyday printing. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a good time. Listen to all the sessions to follow. Thank you for your time and goodbye.
So good to have had you with us, Heidemarie Hinger aus Österreich, from Austria. There's me going in all lingual directions. That was Heidemarie Hinger, calling from Austria. She's the product and business development manager for photo papers. Thank you so much for also that input and the experience. Yeah, the canvas is already wow, and now you've launched the canvas metallic, super wow. I'm very impressed, and this portfolio is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Knowing that you have about 200 people working here in Dassel, I mean, that's a lot of work still. You might have to get a little bigger, even more. So, wow. Thank you so much for these exclusive insights. So now what I would like to know, and I'm sure you also would like to know, where can we buy all these new variations of papers, canvases, the canvas metallic? Where can we buy and test and get a hold of these things?
So the canvas metallic, in this case, as it's a canvas, and you probably want to put it on a stretcher frame, and you rather want to put it in big place, big image, we offer this one in rolls of up to 50 inches, just like all the other canvases we've shown, Cezanne canvas, Goya canvas, all available in rolls inches, up to 50 inches. There you go. If you're rather interested in all the other beautiful papers we have, whether the matte, smooth ones, the textured ones, the natural line papers, or even our glossy and everyday photo papers, we've got you covered on this one. All papers are available in rolls and sheets, up to 50, 60, 64 inches, or from A4 until A2 size. If you're unsure which paper to get, because that could happen with a huge collection we have. So big, we have a few mini gadgets to help you through. We have sample packs in different sizes. So the sample packs contain 2 sheets of every paper we have in the collection, divided in the paper groups we have. So we have one just for the smooth papers. We have one sample pack just for the textured ones, glossy, and also, of course, for the everyday photo papers, which Heidemarie just introduced us. If you're still unsure and like, okay, I don't want to do a lot of test printing, I know what my vision is, and I think I have an idea of which paper might fit, okay, still maybe as a little inspiration, we've got printed sample books.
Oh,
so
wow,
we have
cool.
the huge one, which we were looking at. Could also buy that. Maybe a little bit easier for home is the smaller version. And it has all the beautiful papers with the stunning sample print in it. So you can have an impression on how an image might look, whether the blacks come out beautifully, how the surface looks. You can feel the paper, so you can choose the right paper for your image. This printed sample book will probably help you.
Printed sample book, I mean,
Printed
wow,
sample
you
book.
go all out, really, huh?
Yeah, but we even have a little small extra thing.
Okay.
If you're just, because there are people who touch and feel is the most important factor. The look is not the most important part. So if you're all about the touching of a paper, we have the printed sample book even in mini.
Oh, wow.
So you can just
let's have a look at that. Look.
touch the paper, compare the warmth of the papers, compare the surface structures, the textures.
The glow.
You can compare everything, and super easy. You can put it in your bag, and whenever you go, you can just find inspiration.
Where do I get this, for example?
You can get this at the shop or dealer of your trust. Just ask them. I'm sure they'll carry it. If you don't know an online store or a shop close to you, hop onto our homepage. We have the Find a Dealer search. Type in your location, hit the mark for the Digital FineArt segment, and then I'm sure somebody comes or pops up.
Here I am.
And then they will offer you and sell you happily all the sample books, all the sample swatches, maybe also some of our accessories which you have, signing pen duo, protection spray. We have postcards.
You have also like accessories or
we have a variety of products
with.
complying the whole range. So making sure that your prints really last for generations. You can put your signature on, protect the surface, different accessories supporting your art really. And that all you can get at shop or dealer that you're familiar with or trust the most.
Wow. It's really endless. The options that you have, and almost, I think, the wishes that you as a user have, I think there's pretty much, you can answer to pretty much any wish at this stage and time. Amazing. This has been really super cool. Thank you so much, Eveline.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Is there anything else you'd like to add, to say? Because this session has been fantastic. We launched, or you guys launched Canvas Metallic. We can have another look at the Instagram page because you can still win a couple of kits there also.
Yes.
Look, so the Hahnemühle_imaging is the Instagram page, and I love how you carefully select images and also just put a lot of love and passion and really also connect with your artists, connect with fans and followers in the stores. There's a lot you can learn already about the company. Also, Eveline, you said on the website, go browse the website, go also there via the contact form. You can even make appointments. There's experts standing, waiting for you for questions to be answered. And also you can get a video call and have a look into the factory, into the equipment, the paper, the manufacturing. And I was like, oh, can I call in tomorrow? Are you guys really busy? They're probably going to be very busy, but they're waiting for you. So do take advantage of these possibilities. This was amazing. Thank you so much.
One point.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, shoot.
There's one very interesting thing that you may not want to miss. We have a virtual gallery. If you go onto the website, you can go to a gallery.
Yeah.
It's completely three-dimensionally, virtually, and you can actually go close to these artworks, even on your computer, without having to buy anything. And please do it, because that gives you a very, very stunning impression of what they look like in a gallery environment.
Perfect. So go do that as well. Also, I do want to thank again Heidemarie for calling in with us and giving us information about everyday photo papers. Really excited to see the Canvas Metallic and the art on Canvas Metallic. And make sure that you do stay tuned, because we have another session for you coming up, Life Science. It's quite interesting how it affects us in everyday life and how we all need that very much. Thank you so much, guys. This was very
Absolutely.
impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later.